Alright, hello everyone. So today is Tuesday, okay, so I've got news coming up. Now I've posted the hours already, and with today's news you can see we've got set up at 3:40 and 4:05. Okay, so we've got a setup just before the news. It's happening 4:45. We also have a setup there, so 3:40, 4:45 is our setup time for that one, for this one. And as you can see, got news coming out all week, and Friday is going to be the important ones here. Alright, so let's take a look. Now yesterday the US was closed, so not a lot happening, despite the fact that I posted the Astro hours here, as you can see, so no problemo there. Let's just refresh the chart and see where we're at. Now yesterday I said we've got room to come down if the market is keep pushing down, because if I take a look at the daily, let's get to the daily. Okay. Alright, so all of these lines are the swing days I posted, and we've got with the swing days actually with gold, you'll be able to hear I've been working on it, and on gold 80.95% success rate over the past first 6 months. So we've got a high, a low, a big day or a breakout or a fail. So these are looking for highs and lows to sell or to buy. Okay, I've done it for the euro dollar as well and the SP 500 because I'm doing it for a company that's looking to build a fintech out of it. So they like what they see. So basically that's the kind of rate that we should be going at. So it's pretty good getting those swing days right. Now here I said yesterday we've got room to come down, remember? Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, as you can see all the way down there. Okay, so we have a bit of room coming in. That first level 56 is a sell-off zone, 2504. Yesterday I did say you can sell at the weekly pivot. The market did that. Okay, these are Astro hours as you can see, and those are the highs pretty much, and then market just dribbling down. So let's see what those rates are today on the PST. So we've got 48, 2,480, 2,479. So let's just say 2,480 for the sake of argument. That's there. And also we've got the 44.45, which is 2,465.71 range. 2465, 2465, 71. So we're going to take a dip into there. Alright, so that's a zone, this is a zone. We'll see how things pan out. Okay, on the weekly, okay, we still have a bit of room maybe to fall back. On the monthly, as you can see, the market's at that level there, 79, 2522. Remember we talked about that yesterday. Alright, 2522 is already done. So now what? Now we're in this range, sideways market, as you can see. So depending on the news, we could break out. If the market does break out, we've got room to go up. Why? Because that's weekly 73 level, 253732, which is already a level of marketing. Okay. If it decides to sell from the highs and break downwards, then we're also good to come down into that zone there. So what you want to do is just a sideways market and sell the high. Okay. Selling is looking like a better option here because the daily will want to push it to a nice level to buy. Okay, so I think going down is a better option. Keep 2,516 on your cards as a level too, because it's a level on the price. So if the market hits there and it's a swing hour, then you can look for a sell-up, or you can look for a setup on your smaller time frame as well, or a U-turn, depending on how you want to enter it, and just take it down from there. Okay, so those zones are going to be like interesting levels for the market to trade at. Okay, this 10 past 7 is also not a bad idea at all. Okay, this could see the market going up a little bit more, at least until maybe lunchtime or pre-news session. Okay, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, euro dollar, yesterday I said on this one, euro dollar has a Monday swing day, so going up from here, I said, is logical, and that's what the market did. It just went up. Like I said, it's a swing day and it was at a target. Okay, so it's all good. The next swing day is not today, obviously, so measure that in. Maybe we'll have another up day. If it does, that's fine. It'll probably come into, I don't know, this is pretty much done here. Maybe slightly higher into 1105, 1110. That level here is HCL1, 1112. So we can keep 1112 on the radar, which is pretty much there. Okay. So if we get to the weekly pivot on Wednesday, like we can set it off with a new setup or something. Okay. In the interim though, the market should come down here. Okay, so don't lose the overall focus. We should come down into this zone. It's not a wonder they bought here. This is a logical place to buy, as you can see, but there's a gap down here that needs to be filled, and we should still come into this zone. 1.0972 is a price I've put up there. All right, on the weekly, we're already on that support line, okay, which is fine. It's a good buy kiss. This is why also buying was not a bad idea at all. 55 is still on the cards. That's why you've got the 0976. All right, so just make those little lines on your charts. Okay, idea. As for this has got room to come in. If it wants to go up again with the news, it should come down here and maybe do a sweep. Okay, if it does a sweep, they'll want to come down a little bit, sweep them, and then go. Okay, so if you want to trade it, be careful for that one, and make sure you're around swing hours if you want to go long with it into there. In the interim, this is a sideways market, so buy low, sell high kind of thing is the way to go, but remember the bias is down. Okay, I'd rather wait for it to come up to sell off, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. SP 500, nice. Yesterday, as you know, was nothing to do. I said that's your double top zone there. So we've got divergence here, as you can see. Okay, market's higher, but you see that the market's not very enthusiastic. Okay, you can see targets there as well. We're in between levels here, so news is going to be important. All right, so until the elections, we're pretty much, probably going to be a bit more bullish, and then we'll see how things turn out. Okay, after the elections also, we might have a Christmas rally, which might be good enough to make some money going upwards again. Before that, if we come down, it'll be a good buying opportunity. So be smart, use that opportunity. This is all gap zone here. Let me mark in this zone, because that's going to be a zone we'd love to come back into. Right? And if that's the case, we'd like to start buying if it ever does that. Okay. Now the support here is this zone here, which is about 5623, and your 57, 5611. So 5611 is right there. All right, and 23 is there, so it's pretty much close to where we were yesterday. Okay, 23. I'm not going to mess around with that one. Let's refresh the page because the daily pivot's location has changed. This is yesterday, as you can see. Not a lot happening. Sideways market. And as Asia opens up, we've got a bit of a downpull here. So market probably waiting for news. If you want to buy, It's a bit tricky. The reason it's tricky, we're right at the tops here, and I don't like to buy high prices. On the other hand, we've got room to go. If the market comes down onto that support line 57, okay, if down here, okay, sweeps, stops, fills in a bit of gap, okay, that stop sweeping is there. All right, so if we dip down, touch the weekly, stop sweep a little bit, and then start to go up, okay, it's doable. Okay, like to kind of like push it back up again. But if you think about it, we're right at the top, so it's a little tricky. Remember, the swing day for this was yesterday, Monday. So if Monday holds that high, okay, holds that high, then we might push down. So what you need to look out for is this, because if Monday is a swing day, there are two things that can happen. We're either going to continue from that Friday, because, and I'll tell you why we're going to do that. Because remember, just bear with me and I'll tell you why. Because Friday was a swing day, right? And it made the high. If Monday is a swing day, we're either going to sweep, test, sell off, or we're going to continue with the push, right? So what does that tell us? Well, easy peasy. If we break above the range, stick around here, pull back, you go long, okay? So this zone's got room to fill out, as you can see all the way down there, which is what I've marked in. So if we come down here, the market is either going to sweep here, which is the low of yesterday, or if you want to buy at a swing hour and the market comes into this zone, then that's going to be it. Why is that important? Why? Because this is where the market pushed up, and you see it closed high on a Friday. So they're still aggressive. So coming back to push up is logical, right? So turn that into a 15-minute chart. As you can see, we're in that zone. If you take it back into a 1 hour chart, I like the 1 hour chart because it gives us a good kind of vision to get back in. Now if I tighten this up a little bit, okay, where's that coming from? Let's get rid of these. Okay, let's get rid of that. Anyway, let's focus. This is the sideways market. Now this has got room to come back down to, okay, so it's not a problem. But at the end of the day, so far, we're like sizzling upwards, sweeping stops, as you can see, okay. If we break above that and stick around up, you can go. If you want to buy, do it low, all right. Two places to buy. One's going to be this weekly pivot zone and this green box, and you can measure that into your swing hours. So if at the swing hours we're in this range, you can go to the smaller time frame to push up, okay. Or if the market breaks out, then the pullback is good, so you can target it up. Why? Because I said today, if we get the direction right after 4 o'clock, the market should head towards 9 o'clock to closing, right? So 9:30 to 11:50, it should be in that same kind of direction, or after 9:30 it should be like sideways or slight reversal, okay. So it shouldn't be like a big deal once we get in there, but the market should push until like 9:30. There should be some kind of a negative expansion, okay, which means that, you know, once we find direction, that's how we're going to be going, okay. And that's basically it. So with the news, do your setup. It could push down, okay. If it breaks out, pull back, you go long, and that's the way it is. If we all of a sudden get bad news, we're going to have to break this, okay. This needs to be broken, okay. So if the market starts falling all of a sudden, well, obvious, it could. Why? Because that's the low of the previous week. We're in a range sideways market, so you're going to have to mark your high, you're going to have to mark your low, okay. Let's just mark them in. So trading should be done at the lower end or the upper end. If you're going to sell, you're going to sell the highs. If you're going to buy, you're going to buy the lows, okay. Anyway, in between is going to be chop zone. So ideally, because we've got this zone here where the market shot up, this your second zone too, Okay, so the market should buy from here as well. We've got 5543 there. Let's take a look. Yeah, but if we're going to go up, all right, 57 is fair game. 5611, 5623. This is fair game because we're on the line there. On the weekly, we're in the middle. All right. So if you want to keep pushing up, daily PST is okay, in my opinion. If you want to sell, okay, that's also fine because that's the monthly. You want to push down a little bit, that's also okay. The levels to do that is going to be here, or if it shoots up, it's going to be here. Remember, on the daily, we've got those levels, 65, 67, which is 5662, 5662, and 5686. And let's get rid of that. Okay, so we've got a bit of zone there as well. So be mindful with the news, it's going to be a little hectic. If it does a sweep, comes back in here, or if it mucks around here a little bit and you want to trade it downwards, go to the smaller time frame, wait for the impulse wave on a smaller time frame, retracement, sell it off, tight stop loss. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now indices, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, they're all going to go together. So we're going to have to see how we go. Now the swing days for the indices are the same, except for, yeah, they're all the same. Okay, let's take a look. So this is Dow Jones. Now we're in a new month. Okay, there's a new month. You can see that's a nice breakout there. Okay, will it come to that 64, 48.32? That's a bit down there. Let's take a look at the weekly. Market pushing up, 72, 42268. Still got room to go up. Okay, you can see this is like pushing up nice and easy. It's just huge. When we have a crash, it's going to be a nice one. Okay, but in the meantime, you can see this is just running upwards. On the daily, let's see where we're at. Now Monday, like I said, was a swing day, but SP 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, they were all closed. Okay, so let's see, this might be an ending diagonal. So whenever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a dip down, a 3 tap. So if it goes back up again, selling is not a bad idea. Here your first support for the day is going to be this blue line, okay, which is 65, 41, 382. 41, 382, which is just there. All right, just there. This also has a bit of a gap, so possibly selling might not be a bad idea with the indices. Let's turn this into a 15-minute chart. Okay, so on the daily as well, we've got 1, 2, 3 maybe. So a pullback day might be in order actually. Alright, so we're going to handle this same as the SP 500. If we're around here, then selling would be a better option at the highs at trading hours. Okay, look out for a market sweep and then sell off. Okay, because this is London yesterday, well New York yesterday, but New York was closed. So if the market does a sweep and then come back, selling might be a better option. This is your first place where the market should get support. So we'll probably break this previous day low. Okay, if we come down and then go up quickly, the market can also go up. So from the low, if you have like on a smaller time frame, impulse move, pull back to buy is also okay. So it's a little tricky, okay, and it's not a swing day. Monday was the swing day, so we'll have to be careful with this one. You can also do this. You don't have to rush the trade, just wait for it, okay? If it breaks down big time, then the pull up retracement is your sell setup, okay? So a lot of people want to catch the move all the time as it's happening, and sometimes you won't know because we're in the middle of nowhere, okay? So that's your zone on the upper end, that's your zone on the lower end. In the middle of nowhere is a bit tricky, okay? So what you can do is just wait, okay? If it breaks out, plays around here, mucks around here, then obviously there are buyers in the game. When it pulls back, and if it's a trading hour, buying is not a bad option. Same thing for the breakdown. If it breaks down, mucks around here, then you'll probably get an ABC up. If it's a swing day, swing hour, sell it down, okay, because it's going to be a good day. So don't rush your trades. The first rule is, if you're not sure, stay out. Okay, just wait for something that's clean. Nasdaq, let's take a look at Nasdaq. Same kind of thing here, all the indices as you can see. Now Nasdaq actually did a nice retracement last week, okay, so now we have a breakout, which is good. Today, if the market comes back down into this 48-47 zone, 19,300 270. So 19,300 is there, okay, and 270 is down here. It's pretty close, as you can see, right? So this is your zone. Whoops daisy. All right, so if the market dips back down here again, there's a bit of a gap here, so keep that in mind. This is a 1 hour chart, okay. The market has the potential to go back up again. This might also just sweep these lows here, all right, so wait for it, okay. But this is a nice push down. It's a good retracement, as you can see, nice and healthy, and we have a breakout, so you don't want to stand in front of it. If it dips back down here and you want to buy it as trading hour, it's okay. You can follow it back up into 55, 56, cover the trade at 51, and there are your price levels here. Let's do this. 51, 55, 56, okay. Now one more thing that we need to look out for, okay, is this the flag formation breakout. If the market breaks below that, don't stand in front of it, because highly likely we're coming down into this zone then, okay, in order to go up, okay. So don't stand in front of it if PST levels break, and I keep saying that. You should take it on board. If a PST breaks out, I don't sell against it. If it comes back, does a healthy retracement, and it's a PST level, and it's matching my trading hours, I'll go long with it actually, okay, because this is like a good setup to go up there, and that's your 19,900 target zone right there, okay. So it's doable. So the market can come up here again, sweep. There's a bit of a gap here, remember I talked about that last week. So market can play both sides, but this level is okay for the support. If you take a look at the weekly, we're on a weekly goodbye kiss as well. So that 19,428, 19,428 is just there. Whoops. 428. Alright, so this is also a zone. You can see the markets bounced off that weekly pivot there twice. So that was yesterday. This is now. So sweeping it, dipping down, and then going up is on the cards. Alright, so you can play that way. Just match it to your hours. If you match your hours, you should be fine. Now Monday was a swing day for the indices, as you know, but so was Friday, okay. So if we stay above the lower Friday, okay, this will still hold, and Monday will be a continuation, okay. So then we can keep pushing upwards as well. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Right, here we go with Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, I said no selling here. This looks like a runner. Wait for it to come up and then sell off. Okay, because in my opinion, this still has room to go down. Now look, as you can see here, they've just done the sweeps on the even lows here. All right, you see these even lows? Bang, bang. So they've swept them, haven't closed below it, and that's fine, not a problem. Can get rid of that now. Talked about the gap here, but this is a channel formation, as you can see here. If I was to move this here, okay, it's also valid. If you're using your ATAM strategy, just use the circled lows and the highs for your lines, and you'll be fine. Okay, so this is a sweep, which is fine. There's a gap there, that's also fine, and this is a breakdown here as well. On the weekly, we're in the middle of levels, so in the middle of spaces, not a good place to trade at all, because this is always trading problem area, because it's a choppy zone in the middle. Let's take a look at the monthly. 63 is 64,885. Okay, so 64,885 is way up there. Okay, 64,885. Just keep it in mind. 64,888. All right. So just keep it in mind, and that's just too far out, but we'll keep it in mind. At the end of the day, that's the impulse wave A, B, C. So if we retrace back into the mid zone, into that zone, this is also a sell zone here, right? So just mark it in. I've marked this in yesterday. Okay, if you want to sell off, those are the levels there. On the 4-hour chart, this is still a runner. Okay, there is no gap here. I think they've closed it, haven't they? Pretty much closed it there. Okay, very little. Okay, so that's pretty much closed. So if you want to mark it in, bottom to bottom, and top. Okay, market can sell off from here as well and push it down. So if you want to sell, get your 4-hour chart out, draw this line, okay, and you can sell off from this zone here. There's a bit of a gap here. If it comes to fill it in, no problem. Okay, I think it's already done, nearly. Okay, so this zone's also sell zone, and to push down. If it breaks below, pull up, still selling down. Like I said, we've got target zone at least into 53. Okay, first support of today is going to be 37, 57, 727, 50. So that's going to be your first support down here. 57, 727, or somewhere around there. All right, so you're going to have to cover the trade around here, which is logical. There's a gap there as well. Okay, this is a break up to the upside. Okay, but as you can see, overall we're going sideways, right? So if I extend that all the way down, that's going to be your gap closure, weekly pivot, still good zone to sell off over there. There, all right. If you extend that drop here, that's a little bit of a gap there, which the market pretty much filled out actually. But if it still makes a move up, this is a sell zone at a trade hour. Just need to put your stop loss slightly above there, or wait for a U-turn on the small time frame.